Okay, we have just finished making adding our new students to the register, and now I will show you how to admit them. So the first thing that we're going to do, make sure that you're on the student that you want to be admitting. So right now down here along the bottom tabs, let's say that we're going to record Minnie Mouse's admission, and she started school on Tuesday. So I'll go up here to September 2nd underneath the number 2 for September right here. When you click on that, it should open up a little drop-down menu. Here it says, after selecting the code, use the Add Explanation button for details. That's just a default little window there as a reminder. We'll go through that part later. Click on the drop-down, and here there's a bunch of different codes that you could enter into this grid for her. We are going to add AD for admission, and if you look down here, there's a whole legend of all the different codes. So we're saying that she was admitted on the 2nd, and that's the first step of admitting. Then we go to Add Explanation, and I click on this, and it asks for the date, so it asks for month, day, year, so 09/02/2014. The occurrence is that yours should have a drop down that says admission. You can, but this particular version doesn't have it, so I just typed that in there, and the reason was that she was an external transfer from her community school. Okay, if you look down here, it says this information will appear to the right of the attendance grid under the explanatory notes heading. So after I hit enter data, the computer program is going to look, this is a new page here. This is our explanatory notes page, the one that we used to have to scroll over to on the old register. The program's going to look for all of these columns here, and it's going to look for the next blank spot. So when I hit enter data, it's going to go down here to the bottom of the page like that. So September 2nd, 2004, we have an admission, and that was an external transfer. Okay, and I can hit close on that for now. So the admissions and discharges on these are kind of like the most labor intensive, because it actually has 3 steps. You mark it up here, you add your explanation, but then you also have to do this admission info page, and I'll show you why in a second. So basically, I know it's going to seem a little redundant, but basically it's very similar to the add explanation that we just did. I'll put the date in here, 09/02/2014, and she was an external admission. You know what, over here I said external transfer. I'll have to change that after. Okay, and it says information will go to the admissions worksheet, and it will be counted in the enrollment summary worksheet. So when I hit enter data, it's going to go on into this particular page here that records all of the admissions. And the reason that it's important that we do this is because the ministry makes us have this enrollment summary, which I'll show you in a second as well. And it gets the enrollment summary takes all of its information from these 2 pages, from admissions and discharges. So hit enter data. Okay, you'll see after you admit the student, there's down here in the bottom part, it will say her admission date was September 2nd. And let me just click on the admissions worksheet here, and I'll show you. Here is where her Minnie Mouse's information went. There's her name. She's an external admission, and she started on September 2nd. And I'll go over here to the enrollment summary worksheet right now. So like I said, this worksheet gets all of its information from admissions and discharges worksheets down here. So here it read, it looks for external transfers, external admissions, which Minnie Mouse was, and it counts them, okay? So that's why it's important that you have all your admissions and discharges on those. So everything's it is linked together, but that's why it's important that you put all the steps in there. Okay, so I'll click back here at Minnie Mouse's worksheet. So we've got her admitted, we've got our date here. We know that we sent the note to the admissions worksheet, and we also have our explanation over here. That's all for admissions. Okay, and we'll see you at the next tutorial.